Hello. Hi. Rate is the name. Alright guys, so I know I look a bit different from my last video, the fish suicide and deer diary video. Yeah, kind of traded in my eyebrow ring for snake bites, got some tunnels, new tattoos, which we'll cover in future videos, but I just wanted to come on here and say that this is gonna be vlogs, I guess you could say. Yeah, so just to give you some background, I am a girl from the US of Hispanic descent, Cuban to be exact, and I lived in one area my entire life. I wouldn't call it the city because it's really not the city. It's pretty close to it. I quickly grew tired of the hustle and bustle of the life in the US, and it wasn't good for me in any way, shape, or form, like mentally, and I was just physically ill every morning. Finding myself slowly breaking down. And with that, I guess I'll go into that in a future video too, but with that being said, I decided to travel out of state. I mean, I've traveled before. I would go on cruises and road trips, and I would go on like out of state travel every once in a while, but nothing long term, just like vacation, right? It was exciting when I was able to finally make the decision to come to Peru for a longer period of time. I would come out here to visit every once in a while for about 6 months, 9 months, but I never thought that I would be here long term, and I don't know, something just told me when I landed here the first time that I needed to be here and I needed to get away from where I was in the States. So with that being said, I'm happy I have a partner that encouraged me in all of this and is here with me. And like I said, as soon as my feet touch the ground here in Peru, I immediately feel better. I don't feel sick, I don't feel anxious, I'm not scared of what tomorrow's gonna bring. And it's just a lot of good energy here, a lot of good people. So I guess this first video, I wanted to get into a couple of tricks, a couple of tips of what to keep in mind when you're coming over here, because it is a third world country and it's very different from the US, of course. I keep looking to the side here because I have a couple of notes written down, so I basically I'm skimming, okay? So work with me. All right. First, you cannot get fast food, okay? In towns like where I'm at, it's a very, how can I say, it's very humble? Yeah, in the town where I'm at, we don't have things like a Burger King or an IHOP. You can't walk around the corner and eat that stuff. You have to go to another state in Peru, like, they don't call it state, they call it Providence, but another state in Peru, and usually Lima, the capital, or Piura, or Trujillo, or places like that. They'll have your McDonald's, you know what I mean? But where I'm at, there's nothing like that. Second, yes, there is food here. You can still get food. Yeah, there is a mercado, an open market, and they receive shipments every Friday, fresh fruit, fresh veggies, and you can go and purchase your stuff there. Just keep in mind that everything is gonna have to be cooked. Unless you are a raw vegan, go for it, you know. Third, yes, they do sell meat in the open market, but you have to keep in mind that there's no refrigerator. There's no refrigeration in the market, so keep that in mind. Give your stomach time to process food here before you start going crazy and like trying a bunch of different things. Fourth, Peru has the best waves in the world. This is definitely the place that you want to come surfing at. There's actually a town that's known for surfing, and you can just see the waves start at one point of the ocean and then end up all the way miles to the other point of the ocean. It's really awesome. It's pretty amazing. I mean, even if you're not a surfer, you can still body surf, or you could just, you know, go into the undertow, and that's probably my favorite thing to do, is diving into the undertow, feeling the wave wash over me. It's pretty awesome. Fifth tip. Okay. Dress as the locals do. Okay, this is gonna be one tip that you're really gonna want to keep in mind. Out here, you don't really want to show off. You don't want to look like you're showing off. You don't want to wear a bunch of fancy watches or anything like that, because if you do, there's going to be some miscommunications, you know, and people are going to think that, oh well, you're an American, you can afford paying triple the price for one product than somebody else would. With that being said, this is also a haggling place. People love to haggle here, so their first price usually is just one to just see if you'll get on the hook for it, and then you have to yourself say, all right, no, not really. I'm not gonna pay that, but I'll pay this. In my experience, it's really fun, but there's definitely a gringo tax. If they notice, you know, you're from out of town, they're gonna definitely try to get one over on you. 6. So there's no constant running water here. Everyone that does live here does invest in water tanks in their homes, and yeah, the pipes are pretty old. The pipes are from, like, I want to say when this place was founded was probably in the 1950s, something like that, 70s. This land really started developing like maybe like 20 years ago. Ever since then, they haven't changed the pipes. So people get water either every other day or every 3 days. This last time we had to wait 2 weeks for water. So everybody has to invest in an underwater tank. So if your hostel one day tells you, hey, you can't take a shower today because there's no water, you know why. All right. 7th. The same thing goes for electricity. For the most part, the electricity is dependable. It's very constant, but there are some days where the municipal or town hall here, they will send messages over the radio to the locals saying that there's going to be electricity repairs from X time to Z time. So prepare for no lights. 8th thing, only drink bottled water. This is very important. Only drink bottled water. All right, the local water will make you sick. It will. 9th thing, if you want to go eat something fancy, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Peru is famous for their ceviches. Yeah, it's a raw fish dish that you make with lemon. It's amazing out here, absolutely amazing. But if you want to treat yourself from time to time, again, like I said in the beginning, let your stomach adjust to the food that you're eating out here, because if you go experimenting and you try to eat raw blood oysters, which that is another dish, it's raw blood oysters, or there's a dish with sand flea ceviche, it could more than likely upset your stomach, and you might be like out on your vacation a couple of days just trying to recover. 10th thing, definitely try new experiences. Don't be afraid to go out of your norm and think that you can't visit Machu Picchu. Definitely visit Machu Picchu if that's in what you want. Remember that the money, it's 3.25 soles right now per $1 US. So you really have the advantage on your side, money-wise, to spend and have a good time. Spend the extra buck, you know, to go take a trip to Mancora, the surf town, and take a tour or something fun like that. You should definitely do that. Alrighty, so those are my 10 tips for how to adapt to being in Peru. My future videos, I want to touch on more topics. I want to touch on what I'm doing with my life daily. I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve, you know. I'm not trying to say that I'm like amazing at stuff, but you know, I do things, okay? So it's gonna be entertaining for you, so watch them, okay? Anyways, I'm also gonna do a couple story times because who doesn't want to tell stories about like embarrassing moments in their lives? I love laughing at myself. I'm sure you will love laughing at me too. It's gonna be great. You're gonna enjoy it. And there's of course a lot more information that I do want to cover. I'm gonna continue because I am living here. I am going to continue updating you on things that I learned about Peru, more tips about Peru, more tips on how to adjust well out here. And I hope you stick around and enjoy my content. I'm just a girl trying to find her way in a new life and a new beginning. And I'll be staying in Peru for some time, so you will have many stories from that. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. If you got to the end of this video, leave a thumbs up in the comments. If you don't want to give me a like, that's cool. But, and let me know if you have any questions, all right? Bye.